Poducer.
I think we're good.
We're good?
Yeah,
okay, we're in.
Sweet.
We're doing it now. We're doing it live.
Let's go.
Tom, welcome.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Mason.
Thank you.
If you could just introduce yourself to the audience, that would be great.
For sure. I'm Tom Delany. I'm the founder of Goosethumps, LLC.
Let's go.
Event company turned artist and talent management company in Chicago.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I know that you've seen a couple episodes.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, dude.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
Of course, they're good.
But I was going to say, you probably know how we start these.
Yeah.
That is with a question. What was your first concert?
Yes. Well prepared for this one. It's a good one, too. It was the very first Spring Awakening ever in Chicago, which was on Soldier Field. My buddy Freddie had just introduced me to EDM and dubstep in particular, months earlier, which I hated as much as everyone or a lot of people probably do when they first hear it. I was just like, what the hell, man?
Was it like the bro step or was it more the UKF?
It was kind of like, I guess it was the American stuff, pretty wompy. I'm forgetting one of the first games. It wasn't Skepta, but no, I can't remember who it was, but it was some of the original dubstep. Skrill and Benga, or
well, Skrillex,
not Skrillex, of course, but Scream. I was Scream. Sorry,
Scream.
Yeah. So I listened to a little bit of that, and then he just asked me if I want to go to Spring Awakening. It was going to be a lot of that stuff. Diving in for the first time into EDM, I kind of liked a few songs by that point, and I said, sure, I'll go. Had a blast. We saw Skrillex that weekend. Afrojack headline too. It was a great way to dive into dance music. So that was my first concert, dude. It was sick. I was just graduating from high school, getting ready to go to college with my buddies, and we got a summer to do absolutely nothing for a while. So it was good memories, for sure. It was awesome.
I think we're a similar age. I'm 29.
Same here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the one where Skrillex had the mothership thing where it was it would raise up.
Yeah.
He would get way up there.
Yeah. I don't remember it moving up and down, but I remember the spaceship. You're probably right. I definitely remember the spaceship on stage. It was a spectacle, dude. And being on, I'm a big Bears fan, so just literally being on the field was sick.
Oh yeah, no, it was, dude, it was so sick. Honestly, what happened? Is Spring Awakening dead?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it moved to didn't it move to Rolling Meadows and northwest suburb or Schaumburg, I think.
Yeah,
It moved out there,
It went from Soldier Field over to Douglas Park,
Right.
and then over by UIC, and then it moved to I think Dow Arena over in Hoffman Estates.
Oh man.
Or the Sears Center parking lot. I don't know if it's the same place, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then they tried to do after COVID, that Fall Awakening, because they lost so much time.
Oh,
and they
I did
couldn't
see
get
that.
it together.
Yeah, I remember. I was how do I buy tickets? I was thinking about going because I was so I needed to go to a festival.
Yeah.
And then I just remember them saying yeah, we're not doing it. I was like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah. I don't know who am I to say it if it's dead, but I haven't really been interested in going for a while.
See, I would though, because I'm looking at this lineup here. From 2011, and if they brought this lineup back, I would probably go. I'll show it here.
You can't. The thing is, you can't retroactively. It's 2020 hindsight. You're dude, how are all these people on a bill?
Yeah.
Because now they're so much bigger,
Right.
So, but let's hear some names.
Yeah.
So we got Skrillex and Afrojack, Benny Benassi, Moby, Flux, Carl Cox.
Oh my God.
Dude.
I can't believe I didn't even remember all those guys.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Carl Cox back in the day, you would have had to have been an old techno head to
Yeah.
I remember I
him.
saw Carl Cox and I was like, nah, I wanted that dubstep.
Yeah.
And then they had, oh man, you know what I loved about Spring Awakening was all the trance people that they brought through. It was like the last Chicago trance music events that we'd hear. So like Ferry Corsten, Marcus Schultz, Laid Back Luke, not really trance, but
Ferry
Morgan Page, dude. Like this is
that's awesome.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I would have diven into those trance guys way more now. I was not into that back then.
You were like ahead of the game somehow. I was not like a trance guy back then, but you.
Well, because when Spring Awakening was actually my first festival, but I went the year after, and I had only ever seen 2 dance music artists. It was Deadmau5 and Armin. So we'd kind of just bounce around from every stage. Like, got to peep the house stage. You're like, okay, Chicago house, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, go over to the main stage and do your cherry picking to like Carnage or whoever it was. And then, the trance stage was always like never like terribly packed. And it was just fast and you're like, oh, I'm sweaty, like this is fun. That was cool.
Damn, you just reminded me though, I my first show actually was not that. It was Pretty Lights opening for Skrillex at Congress, like the winter before that.
Wow.
I guess Spring Awakening just trumps that, like in spectacle. Maybe that's why I remember
that was
that
like
first
festival.
Yeah. So
maybe.
Yeah, I guess I don't know that. I just thought of that first, but yeah, I mean, Congress that was a piece of history for EDM. I think across the country. I think that place was pretty well known, and obviously in Chicago. Yeah. If you like dance music, you went to Congress a number of times. Probably saw Zed's Dead there 10 plus times. A lot of good experiences there. It's still like, it still says Congress on the front of the building. Like they haven't touched it, which is kind of funny to walk by.
There was a rumor that they were going to revive it.
I heard that too.
And then that never happened.
Maybe. There's probably so many code violations on there.
Yeah.
Dude, that place was jank. I remember they would like, and I don't even know how young we were, but like, I just remember some kids would get kicked out for like doing like drugs or something, and they would literally just take the drugs, and I swear they'd just be like, oh great, now I have drugs. Like the security, and then like you could get back in, but there was just like a slap on the wrist. They were like, yeah, don't do that, but we're gonna take these.
Well, I remember hearing some bad stories about security too, and I don't know, like Bass Nectar would play there, other artists, and like people would be geeked up that they're bringing their own security. They're like way chiller security staff tonight. So I remember
like that was the rumor, like, oh, we're good.
Yeah, rumor may be true. I don't know, but I just like remember kids like getting excited for that too, which is funny.
Yeah, and I mean now the Concorde's like pretty good.
I love Concord. That's my favorite venue.
Concord
in Chicago.
Legit is like great sound.
Yeah,
the
perfect
door
size.
People, look, I don't know. Maybe you're having a bad day. Not very nice.
No, they get bad. Not as bad as Aragon, though. Dude, they won't let you in with nicotine at Aragon a lot of times. Yeah, my buddies have experienced. But yeah, I love Concord, man. I've seen so many great shows there.
Yeah, me too.
Hip-hop and dance music. Really good spot.
Yeah. You know, it's something that like, I just don't know the answer to this, but you know how back in that time period everything was put on by React?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, or like Silver something. I forget what the name of the company was, but
not remembering them.
Regardless, like React, I'm pretty sure owned the Mid. But like, what happened to these companies? Did they just get eaten up by the forces
I don't know.
B that are right now?
I thought React got bought up by SFX.
Okay.
Let me find out though.
That's interesting. I wonder if React was even around till the pandemic and that did them in.
The pandemic
I wouldn't remember well enough to know, but
2020 React was bought by LiveX Live.
Okay.
I don't even know them.
There's even things where like, I remember when I was buying tickets, this is like my conspiracy brain going. When I was buying tickets back in the day, it was through, I mean, like Ticketmaster's still a thing, obviously, but I forget what the other company was. But now it's like AXS or like Dice or something.
Yeah.
And Dice feels like it's for smaller shows, but AXS feels like it's for like the more like Radius or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm also
That's
like,
pretty accurate.
I feel like it's the same thing that nightclubs do, where they change the name, but it's still the same mega corporation.
Yeah,
like,
just like repackaged as something cooler and sexier.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Like, I bet you if we looked at the money trail, it would just be like, see, I knew this was inevitable.
As announced prior.
Lady, go leave us now.
She's protecting us, man.
Okay.
But yeah, the ticketing and promotion companies become hard to track.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We need to do like a dark, you know how like, maybe I'm just like too much on YouTube now, but I swear if you put dark in the title, you're hitting that SEO. Like people love dark history or like the dark underpinnings of like why shit happens.
Yeah. Getting into the conspiracy tangent
Exactly.
a little bit.
But I was
Yeah.
going to say, I feel like a good little deep dive, maybe like I don't even know, like an episode non-podcast would be just to deep dive on like where the money trail is.
That'd be a
That's
good
a good
one.
idea.
Little bonus episode.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And we could like wear tinfoil hats. That'd be stupid. Anyway, back to the show. You know, Tom, you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And one of those cool things is the Goosethumps.
Right.
Killer name.
Thank you.
By the way.
Got to credit
Shout
my buddy.
What's the bass?
Got you
What does
guys
it say on the
fitted.
back?
Well, the back of the shirt says, we bring you the bass.
Yeah.
So, but the goose is bringing you a bass fish on the shirt. So that's one of my merch design feats.
No, it's good, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I kind of want to. We got to do a lot of origin stories. I feel like that's always important.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How did this come to be? Like, when did you get the name? How did that get finalized?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2019, I was still just trying to be a DJ producer at that point. Trying to get myself bookings, like emailing my own credentials and songs and mixes to promoters. And that was proving pretty fruitless. So it wasn't so exactly like I'm going to do this, but Halloween was coming up. And I was just like, so I get, the main reason I probably can't get shows as a DJ is because I wouldn't sell that many tickets, which is true. But I was like, I would probably get like 20 people to go. And then, so my three buddies who also DJ and produce, they would also for sure get 20, 25 people to go. So I kind of rounded them up in a group chat and was like, would you guys want to just like put our own show together for Halloween this year? We'll just promote it ourselves. I'll find a venue. We'll sell tickets and just have like a pretty like underground EDM type dance party. And they were all down. And so the name Goosethumps, that was originally a name for a Halloween party, which, spooky, goosebumps, Goosethumps. And that name stuck because we just all thought it was dope. We're like, let's keep this for the long term. But yeah, and then so I guess that's how the larger idea came to be, just like combining forces of lesser known artists, like independent local guys. Like I followed so many dope producers on SoundCloud who I loved their music, and I was like, I've never seen them on a bill. I know they don't play shows at least very often. So let's just like extend this model to the larger producer community in Chicago. And that's how that was kind of the spawn of the idea. So Halloween, me and my three buddies played, the three guys who would go on to be my starting partners with the company. And then we did one more show with just us playing, because at first, like, the easiest way to get people in there was off our own networking, like the big step to just like stepping back and doing the event production and filling the bill with other artists. That was going to be like an initial risk for sure. So we did our second event on our own. And then, so COVID happens. So we have two dope events in person. And then we get thrown that massive curveball. Ended up continuing to go well though. So our first show with other artists, like the model that took us to the end of last year, it was with Liney, was like the biggest name on there. Cozy Kev, and anyone who knows the Subu Music Collective, it's like Aviate, Hanksty. They work with Palpa too. Palpa was there for this next one. And Cozy Kev, I mentioned him. I think that was everyone. But I posted on Reddit just like, yo, new event promotion company in the EDM scene in Chicago. Like, we're going to do all the heavy lifting on the event. Just like, we just need artists to play who are like good or talented or, you know, small bar of quality. And Liney and his boys, Hank Sturfer is the first one who hit me up. He was like, yo, I produce with all these guys. Let's do something. And so that actually was going to be an in-person show. We had met before the pandemic started, but ended up being a live stream called Bass Bubble, which the venue was like an all white thing. Like, it kind of looked like a little futuristic bubble. Like the branding hit. It was cool.
Did you guys do something with the Reset guys?
We did. So this was in August, and then they were the next one, and that was for Halloween.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had we got like Blake, Cam, Jake played, Nada played,
Ellipsis, Cam Stacy.
Yeah, thank you. And TYGKO spit some bars there too. So that was really sick. And this whole time too, I'm like learning OBS Studio, which is like just how you make live streams.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I was just like crash coursing myself in it. But the stuff looked good. Getting like a seamless quality on live streams was hard. But it looked pretty good. And the guys had a great time. And so we did one more live stream after that. And then we got back to in-person events and ended up doing like over 20 shows, working.
Really?
Yeah. Working with over 50 artists. Got like 5,000-6,000 attendees total across the shows. And obviously, like, the whole idea behind it is supporting local and independent artists. And our total fees paid to the talent by the end of all the events was over $10,000.
Wow.
So that was money that we helped generate for local musicians in the city.
That's amazing.
It was, and it was so fun, man. Like, we got some good recap videos up there, met so many people. Like, we did like an online mix stream, and like we had people from the UK and California making mixes for us. So the network that created and like memories it made, not to be super corny, like, it was awesome.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. And you were working with good friends of yours too.
Yeah, and then the network, like the all the best parts of like the underground dance scene, like, were really shining through. Like, so many referrals. Everyone would tell the next guy that we did a great job. So that was just like really cool to see.
Yeah, when you're like organically building the word of mouth, and that kind of tells you like you're on the right path.
Exactly. And because like the performers were as much our audience as the fans. Like, we're doing this for the guys who deserve to be playing shows for people. So their kind words and good experiences like meant the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's dope, man.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to ask was just that, like, you know, you're working with other people, and you know, you mentioned that you reached out on Reddit, but was it like almost all word of mouth at a certain point, or was there time and energy spent into reaching out to people, and like how did that?
Heavy on the latter, I guess. To dive into it, it was more like when I would reach out to people, they would be familiar. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, my buddy told me you guys did a great show with them." So, you know, our like contact us wasn't bursting at the seams, but like when I would reach out to people, they'd already be like pretty acquainted. Like, maybe they saw the recap video, you know, they talked to their buddy who just played, and that made the agreement process that much more simple. You know, having a few good referrals. People. Like, the artists like knew who we were when I would, you know, usually DM them on Instagram.
For sure, yeah. You got like the cosign already.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. We're you know, pre-certified in a way, I guess, a lot of the time.
Yeah, no, that's important.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I guess, I don't know. I mean, so like after those 20 shows, did you decide to stop doing live shows? Because I haven't, or is it gonna come back?
No, you're good. Well, I definitely don't want to say it's like done forever. It is done for the time being. And so my focus got into management. Excuse me.
It's the beer.
Yeah. But so I'm thinking about the future of the business. Like, the events are getting expensive. and the workload's a lot. I mean, putting events together is a lot of work. Like I spent my most of my time, I feel like busting my ass, like lifting heavy equipment and doing stuff like that. And like, God bless all my partners who did it with me for so long. But so I was thinking of a phase 2 in the back of my mind. And, as I'm making this massive network of musicians and DJs in Chicago, like management was a very natural first thought. We were like cruising on the event. So I was like, I'll let that come to me. Mm-hmm. And then so after one of our shows, Tazu played, who was just here.
Oh yeah, he told me like about how it kind of worked.
Yeah, he touched on it a bit. He's the best. But so he hit me up after the show, and he told me to let him know if I knew anyone looking to manage. He's like, I'm looking for a manager. If you have any good references, like let me know. And I basically just volunteered myself at that point. My only experience is in the events. And so my pitch was just like, I'll be doing this for the first time, but I'll put the same work effort and like passion into you that I'm putting into these events. Yeah. And so, we kind of just started that handshake agreement on trust. He was like, all right, dope, let's do it. And it was sick. He was my only client for about a year, got him a bunch of small shows, just helped him push his music, and stayed in really close touch throughout that time. And we've made a lot of progress. We're working on a lot of dope things. But then, so he that was the only time I kind of got myself my own client. The next two guys, Cozy Kev and Care, they asked me to manage them, which I'm sure they'll vouch for if they listen to this. But yeah, dude. And they just gave me a call, long story short, asking me if I'd be down to help them kind of more of a long-term way. But the cool part was that like I gave them the same pitch I gave Tazu, which is, pitch is the wrong word. Like I was literally just like being honest.
You were upfront and honest. Yeah,
exactly. Like I was just like, yeah, dude, like you have my word that I'll bust my ass and like, do everything I can. And like, it'll be a little bit trial by fire. Like I'm going to be learning as we work on stuff. But they were both down, dude. I still work with all of them. And I think the cool part is that, like they were down in light of my lack of true management experience. Like they probably could have all chased someone who's had a lot more years under their belt doing management. But like, I think there was a lot of trust there. And like, I was friends with them before we had ever started talking business. And they just saw the type of work that I put into Goosethumps events. And so it was pretty much based on that, I think, which I think is the really cool part.
Yeah. So I kind of want to go back to the events for just a sec because
for sure there was a lot, dude. It's good stuff.
Yeah, because like there's that like, yeah, like, okay, we could book all these cool people, but how much is that going to cost? And who's going to come to the show?
Yeah.
And are we going to lose money on this? Like,
right.
Did you have any experiences where you lost money? I mean, you don't like, you can say generally or whatever, but like, I guess, I don't know. Like, I just want to know a little bit more about when you're like, okay, this is going to be a good show. And I know that like our ducks are in a row and we're going to be fine.
Yeah, for sure. Happy to shed light on that because I hope other people would start doing random stuff like this. It was, we never really made money on a show. We would barely break even or lose money. And I mean, I think that's mostly because doing underground events is really expensive. Like we weren't just going to a bar that would basically book us as talent and we get our tickets and they keep the drinks. That's something I was hoping to work towards, but that's a whole nother conversation. Like getting yourself booked at dope venues is really hard. They got a laundry list of talent. And the private events were dope. Like we did like a repurposed funeral home. We did like a rooftop at an office. Hilarious. It was our first Halloween show, so it was kind of perfect.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and then just like random art studios with really dope stuff on the walls. A rooftop of an office building. So like the weird venue component was a huge aspect in my opinion. But those rental fees that people want,
for like gear and stuff. Or like
no, so like the office building we did, like we had to give them like $7,000 just to be there for the day, and they didn't have speakers, they didn't have a bar. They didn't even have tables. They had nothing. So then we're renting all the equipment. We're getting the CDJs, the speakers, the subwoofer, stuff for the bar. Like the bartenders need tables.
Yeah.
I mean, we bought the booze a lot even.
Yeah. Was it like Costco, Benny's?
Benny's, dude. They do
Benny's.
great volume stuff. But and also we're not making money on the booze. Like we actually did do this legally. Like of course anyone can illegally sell alcohol, but
And just like send it to a Venmo or something.
yeah. So and we were hiring bartenders, and they keep their drink sales because they're licensed bartenders. So
Yeah.
we're only getting money on ticket sales, and the expenses just outweighed the ticket sales almost every time. Which maybe an expert could have done more, but I mean, outside of getting into legit venues, which I guess I just didn't have the network for at the time. Like that was the only way I saw to do it. And I don't think you can jack up the prices of an underground dance music show. Like we were doing 20, 30 bucks. Like, and that's what it should be, dude. Like you can't charge someone $50 to go to a random art studio, like off the beaten path. It makes it not cool to start with. And we would do open bar stuff when someone, maybe the ticket center is $60, $70, but you're getting a whole day of drinking with that too. So
What was the highest ticket that you had?
So, I mean, the highest one with we did like an open bar Halloween party, which I think got to like $75.
So, but you get like drinks.
You can stand at the bar all night. Like, yeah,
Okay.
I won't.
Okay.
No one would do that, obviously, but yeah, like,
Or like who did that because they're like laying on the ground.
and then you're blackballed.
Right.
No, but yeah, man. So it was good value. We never priced it to put money in our pockets. I think if we stuck with it and like we could have gotten like an investment or something or done other things to at least get to a point where the business can sustain itself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I was basically looking at making that move or doing the management stuff. And like, I got into it because I love music, and I'm a lot closer to the music doing the management than I am doing the events. Like I said, the events became a ton of legwork. It's like event operations, logistics, vendor management, all this stuff that, isn't music. So it was dope, and I'd love to get back to it. The Goosethumps brand is still what I manage under. So we'll get back to that. But for now, I'm really enjoying the management and like working really closely with the artists on their music.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's tough.
Yeah,
It's
that was a
tough,
long-winded
dude.
answer.
No. I like it. I almost want to keep talking about it, but I don't want to get too technical with it.
Yeah,
because-
no, you're good. I guess so. The way we were able to keep doing it is, I think, teaming up with your buddies who love it.
Yeah.
Like, if you take a small loss but divide it by 4 and you love it, like that's pretty manageable. Like we're like, well, I'll do this amazing thing for $200, or whatever it may be. So, get a team, and know what you're willing to spend on the business, and keep it fun. And it wasn't too hard.
I'm not like a business guy. I feel like I've said this a couple times on the show. Mace.
Business.
Yeah.
Stocks.
But like I watched some Shark Tank and like a lot of the businesses, like how much debt do you have? And they're like a lot, or like sometimes I'm like, that's a lot of debt, but a lot of companies, it's almost that's how they have to start.
Yeah, like if you like Google, the rule of thumb, it's like you're not profitable for 5 years for any startup.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, that's not like good advice for other businesses. Like if you get into something else and you're just, dude, I still haven't made any money. It's like, dude,
yeah,
you work at McDonald's. It's like you're getting paid. You're not even starting a business. No, but I don't know, man. It's just I don't know like what the metric is in the event space. Like, should you be not making money in the start, or you know what I mean, just to get the word and get?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I know I can say I've not worked with a lot of people, even just like I'm like going in as the student, like how'd you do this or whatever, and everyone says, like people with venues even, that there's no money in events. So it really is a labor of love, but I'm sure that's a scale thing too. Once you have enough volume,
once your radius,
yeah, or something like that.
Crazy drink tickets, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just did it the way I did it. It's not the perfect way that I did it. I'm sure someone probably could have made some improvements, but
man, it's all just trial and error after a point, though, right? Like, you try something, you learn something, and if you find me somebody who made like money on their first event, or even a lot of money, they were either up to some shady shit, or they like, I don't know, had some experience beforehand,
They're
or
in the
just got
mob.
really fucking lucky. But like,
totally, man.
Yeah,
I agree. And yeah, like I played it safe on the legal aspect. Like, I mean, we're talking about underground dance music. Like, there's a lot of shit you can do to make money. And like, but I didn't want that risk. Like the bar, for example, like that's a gimme to cover some of your losses. But if you get busted selling booze, I don't want to know the repercussions of that.
It's probably not worth it. So just to like put a pin in this whole events thing, if you were to do events again, is there anything that you learned specifically that you'd be like, I just would not do that again?
That's a good question. I don't know if I made any like grave errors that I would love to take back, but what I would have done maybe is partner with a venue, be like, well, maybe do like a 5 or 10 event contract, and then they're going to knock down that price for you on the rental fee. And now maybe you can start making some money to put back into your business. Cause every time, I mean, that's just basic, like, if you sign on for 1 year, it's going to be pretty expensive. But if we get you for 5 years, we'll cut you a great deal. Just something like that as an example, to make it more sustainable.
Buying in bulk.
Yeah. But like all the different venues were dope. So I don't even know. But definitely the fiscal part, could have been improved. But it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll go back to management then. But also I wanted to go back to something we talked about before the show, and that's that, you were a producer, you were a DJ.
Right.
And, it's almost like, it's not like the major leagues, like where, there's so few people that make it. There are a surprising amount of people that if you stay in the game, you can make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, I feel like, when we were talking about, you were like, that just didn't seem like your path, but you still wanted to be in the creative industry, but not necessarily creating stuff.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know, like, it's just a different way of filling up your cup, and the management is more that, like you said, you're closer to music with the management. What do you mean by that?
Like, whereas before I may have been like hiring bartenders or renting speakers at Guitar Center or like doing all these random things that go into event production. Now I'm like listening to the songs that these guys are working on. I'm like looking at the content they're making to promote their music. Like my favorite sessions are just when we have a video chat and my guys will just show me like all the amazing songs they're working on, just like a good whip session.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, this is so awesome, man. And just like, I didn't really get that before, dude, because it was one-off relationships. We do the show and then on to the next group of talent. So yeah, dude, like they're showing me their projects and what they're working on. And, it's like, how can we get this out there? What's the right home for this song? That's the crux of my job now. And I really, really like it. It reminds me why I got into it in the first place. And obviously, like you said, I was a producer before, like that creative gene has not gone anywhere. Like I still love art and creating. And so being able to help with that however I can is kind of how I've found myself in the space. Which has been really gratifying.
I did have a quick question for you though.
Sure.
So if you kind of started out producing and DJing, and maybe you still do a little bit here and there, just kind of for the vibes, for the fun of it.
Of course.
Was there a moment that Did you ever have two-parter? Did you ever have
Two-parter.
kind of the dream?
Said no two-parters.
No, yeah, sorry, that was in your contract, bro. Did you ever have like that, dream that really gets everybody into production and DJing in the first place, like getting to that level?
For sure. Yeah. Like picturing yourself on the main stage. Definitely.
Exactly.
Definitely
So,
had those thoughts.
Did you ever have kind of a moment where maybe you kind of came to terms and you accepted, like, you know what? Like that climb seems very difficult to get to. It seems like maybe not my trajectory, or maybe like I just don't want to put the work in to get to that point, or like maybe in some cases, not saying this is you or anything, like I just don't have the creativity to get there. Like what was kind of the turning point to get you into the more business side of things?
Yeah. All valid reasons to opt out of that also, side note. But I mean, first off, like I'm not as talented as these producers that I think are amazing. Which, it's tough to talk about because I think everyone should make art for themselves as much as they like. Like if you love making beats, it doesn't matter if anyone listens to it. But I guess to scratch my itch, so to speak, like I was like, I don't know, I felt like I was like, I need a place in this industry somehow. And maybe like, and I can scratch this itch in ways that are easier than trying to become a famous producer, in ways that suit me better.
Yeah.
And so I think after that first event, when I had just like organized a pretty dope small event, I started looking at myself as like, can I be happy making like behind the scenes contributions?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I think
connecting people. Like
And like you're in the space, man. Like everyone I talk to makes art or makes music. And so I think after that first show was like, I can appease this creative need of mine in ways that are more accessible for me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel that because, I mean, it feels like just on a personal note, that is somewhat happening to me. Like in the sense that I've put the podcast in front of my own personal music production.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just like this feels like it has more legs, or there's also like this aspect of producing that it feels, and I'm not saying this towards like anyone specifically, but it feels like it's about you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is my music. Like I make it for my fans or whatever, but it's like at the end of the day, I'm the one on the stage. Yeah. And I think for myself, I'm not saying I don't want to do that still. Like that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But if you're going to put your 10,000 hours in, like it's hard to do two things or something,
Yeah.
So.
And whenever I made beats, and I mean, this is probably really common, but, I was so hung up on the validation of it. Like when you post a banger and get 20 plays, I'm just like, man, like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. Which again, always, really shouldn't matter if it's for you. But I was like, if this is how I want to get big here and, do music stuff in general, there's got to be a better way.
Well, I feel like this is almost like the most real important point that we've had on the show in a while, that it's okay that, like if you think music is really cool and you want to make it and you want to be a part of it, that you don't have to be the center of attention. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying you don't have to be the producer. You don't have to be the DJ. Yeah. There's so many different facets of the industry that you can get into. Yeah. And still feel like, wow, I'm part of a greater good or a bigger thing than myself.
Totally. I think that is definitely the essential message. There are so many roles behind a great DJ or any great music act or any great artist. So yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. And I guess just to kind of second off that, like if you are feeling like that, like just try doing something different like one time. And like for me, that was putting an event together. For you is, maybe for you is doing the podcast, or, someone else, like you want to start a blog, just like, think about those other avenues that might make you happy. And, you probably won't rack your brain so much and you might find something you really like.
It's probably going to be a grind either way.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I agree that maybe it's like, you gotta it's like the definition of insanity. You just keep doing the same thing and not getting it or expecting a different outcome. You're like,
yeah,
you got to try something different.
Yeah. I think a good way to look at it is like, will you be proud of it if it like doesn't like blow up? And I think if the answer to that is yes, like that's a great thing to pursue.
That's a good point.
Keep doing
That's
it.
a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Like if you're feeling like what we just did, sometimes after the podcast, I'm like, we just did God's work.
Yeah.
Which is not like actually, but I was talking to my friend the other day and I was like, bro, all we have as human beings is just stories. That's like literally it.
Yeah.
And I feel like these are a time capsule of stories, and this is the format that I guess I've chosen.
Yeah. Everything is storytelling, dude.
Even music, you know?
Yeah.
Or, dude, a dish. Like, how much whenever you watch like a food show, they're like, yeah, it brings me back to like my grandma's cooking. It's always the grandma or like the nostalgic cooking. You know?
Yeah. Definitely similar things for sure.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I got kind of out there. I'm sorry. But going back to the management thing.
Yes.
You know, like what were some of the first kind of like, oh, wait, I'm like doing this type of deal? Like you got Tazu, you're like, all right, I got him this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first thing was probably, man, I can't remember what show it was. I mean, in some venues are a lot more low key than others. Like I got him a lot of small shows at venues in the city that were super easy to book. Like here's his rate, come through and play, no contract, come chill. But, you know, then you start playing at some of the bigger venues. Like I think like getting like official contracts and documentation and agreements, like shit you actually got to read through. That was an awakening moment for me. Which like wasn't unexpected, like, you know, like that's like the job, but reading through your first like official documents from a promoter or a venue, you know, that was a learning experience. And places work differently. Some people like won't, like they have all these weird things you need to do to get paid. Like, yeah, like, I know this place we just booked at, his payment was really delayed. And, you know, I'm emailing these guys, where is it? You know, no one's responding. And I look back in the emails and this guy just like very sloppily sent like an email as like a JPEG with no title. And you know, like a double email, like I email you at 3:30, but I forgot something. So I email you again in 30 seconds.
And it has the attachment.
Yeah. The essential information, like super easy to miss. And I was like, oh, here's like all the processing information they need for you to get paid. So, you know, I guess like egg is on my face, but like there was no pointing there of attention to this thing. So just like being really thorough, I guess, with that is one example. An organization too, like these email chains get to like 10, 15 people.
Oh yeah.
One person seems to be each doing like a very particular job. So yeah, staying organized, man.
You gotta know how to CC.
Yeah. Lots of
pretty
CCing,
basic, but
yeah. So yeah, man, I do Google Sheets and Excel sheets, and I keep a big schedule. I have like multiple schedules just on my computer, on my refrigerator of do this, do that. So I guess those are a few things I've learned in the first few months. Yeah.
I'm curious just because, I mean, I think a lot of people, does this help just any like AI things that have been helping your workflow?
I'm trying
Have you implemented any of that?
Only for like copywriting. You can be like, write me a contract for this, or even like creative copywriting.
Dude, I just thought of something that I'm like, yeah, I got to do that. So so copywriting for what specific purpose?
You could do like marketing Instagram posts, for example, like promote this event with these key components, and like it's cool because of this, and it'll write you like some really good stuff. And even just going off the rails for a sec, like I'm like doing a job search right now, like it will spew up creative writing for you really quickly. Like if you got to write a bunch of cover letters,
oh yeah, dude, it's
type it in. Yeah, you can even like give it like the vibe, be like, I'm like this type of guy,
dude.
It's wild.
You can have it generate something and then be like, say this in like a chiller manner, or like a more laid back tone, and it'll be like, right on, bro.
Yeah.
Not actually,
but something like that. I've been saving all these articles about how to like optimize use of Chat GPT that I've been meaning to get to. So I'm in like the beginner stages of using it, but I feel like, I mean, there's so much insight about Chat GPT now that I think would be insanely useful. So I'm trying to get more into that.
yeah, for sure. No, but I mean, I just, when you said like email chains and stuff like that, like when it comes to writing stuff, I feel like that is so, dude, imagine, this is gonna sound like so boomer, but imagine being in school and just like being like, oh, I'm gonna just write this paper.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's
I wonder how
crazy.
that's even monitored anymore now.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if it could be used. Like, email chains would be tough because you're usually responding to things.
Specific thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like technical requirements and like hospitality advanced type stuff.
But
I mean,
yeah, sorry. What were you
no,
saying?
you're, I mean, but I was going to say like, it's it's AI. So I'm sure you could like put that in and be like, respond to all this, but I don't know. I haven't implemented it yet. I'm probably not at the level I need to be. I would reap a lot of benefits from that just yet, but I'm sure it could be achieved.
I was just curious, yeah, because I've used it for like cold call type things, like generate, and then you got to like modify it a bit, you know, make it a little bit more personal.
It's wild though, man. I can't believe how quickly it feeds you back your answers.
Don't you feel like the whole AI thing was like, holy shit, AI, and then now it feels like there's still advancements, but we're like kind of more like, all right, we get it. It's still going to be insane.
It became commonplace, like, rapidly.
Really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fast.
Yeah, man.
Like in a disturbing way.
Yeah.
I mean, almost in a disturbing way to me that it's like under the radar. Like now that it's not like a fad, it's not hot right now.
Yeah.
It's
the wave's already done.
It's like gonna keep getting way more advanced, and we're gonna be like, oh wait, what, it can do that now?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
All right, yeah, not to derail into AI, but yeah, man, like, just, I don't know, do you have any specific goals in mind with the management, like year goal, 5-year goal? This is just like a quick side tangent before we get into that, is we were talking about how things move so fast with someone, and how a 5-year goal doesn't even seem as
tough.
It doesn't, like back in like 1920, having a 5-year goal was like, yeah. But now having a 5-year goal, especially for like businesses, it's like, dude, you gotta have like a 6-month goal.
That can only be achieved by setting a bunch of shorter term goals.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like,
but all that aside,
yeah.
Any specific goals for you, like something that you really want to get for your guys and be like, dude, that would be sick?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say they're all like a step short of playing major festivals regularly. So I'd really like to get them all there very soon. I mean, Tazu just played Heatwave.
Yeah, congrats
Amazing
on that.
start. Yeah, that was all him, dude. He has a great network. He knows a ton of big artists and promoters in Chicago. They have better networks than me in a lot of ways, which I'm not shy to say. A lot of times they create the opportunity, and then I'll handle the business and dirty work of it. And that's just fine. Another thing that was made clear between both parties, like in every scenario. But yeah, you know, playing festivals, they're all at different places too, but I don't know. I think there's something to be said about, like, I think there can be a hyper focus on playing shows immediately when maybe you should be building your catalog a little bit more. And this is just from learnings. Like, I just spoke to Toma, who was on here.
Yeah, shout out Toma.
Yeah, he's done some amazing work. And yeah, man, like, because when you are starting to get big, people are going to say, well, how many Spotify's like monthly listeners do you have, and how much this and how much that? And, you know, when you're a year or two down the road, would you have rather have made like a few $100 on a few small bookings that you grinded for, or would you rather have like the resume you need to play like an amazing booking? So I think like I'm just for me generally, this is nothing specific to anyone, but like really focusing on like the groundwork and the discography and content and
the
TikTok
core
like
content.
Yeah, like what's there when you look at this dude up.
So what do you think would be more important in terms of like, there's a balance, I'm sure. You got to have some music, you got to have some like social media presence, but like let's say you had like 5,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, but you had like 50,000 people following you on Instagram. Like there's different ways to leverage it, because it's like if you're gonna play a show, if you have 50,000 followers, there's a good chance you could get a few of those people out, right? I'm not experienced enough to say for sure, but I feel like you're just going raw numbers at that point. Because if it's a big opportunity, they just want to sell tickets, right? Like I feel like they're probably going for the 50K Instagram followers. You think the Instagram might be more important?
Yeah, which is sad, but
it is sad. Well,
but we're talking about
shows.
business.
We're talking about butts and seats too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, that's about business. That's not even about
people
music.
Listening to your music on Spotify doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to come out to your show.
Exactly.
It could.
There's so much geography based with Spotify too.
Right.
Like really good strategists like look where their listeners are and like will book shows there, which I guess sounds obvious as I say it, but I know that's like how a lot of it is done nowadays. Yeah.
Getting into all those stats.
Yeah, like you see random cities on like small tours for like mid-sized artists, and like that's why
Kankakee. I don't even.
Yeah, no, exactly, man. Just like
Waukegan.
states you can't place on a map. Like,
yeah.
Must have a small fan base there.
Rhode Island. No, I don't know. Rhode Island's probably fine. It's just small, Yeah, because it's something, I don't know. I also was just thinking like about how if you had 50K Instagram followers or whatever, social media, and then what if your account just got hacked, bro? This is just something, okay, like, I don't know if you've thought about, I was just thinking about this the other day.
I would hope you would have like a certain level of support from Meta at that point. Like you must, they can't give customer support to everyone, but
if you're verified, they'll be like, all right.
Yeah. Well, can't you like buy like?
No. Yeah. That was the joke.
The blue. Yeah. No, I got you. That sucks that the blue check means nothing now, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, any person can straight up pay a lump sum of money and get it, right? Is it pretty much that simple?
And it boosts your shit too. Like, I think it's like, you're like 3 times more, seeable. That's probably not the right word.
I guess I get it for them. That's too bad. I don't know. It's kind of a nice goal to attain that you can now just buy.
Yeah. It's like that A$AP Ferg song.
Yeah.
It's like that blue check going validate me. Yeah. Not like anymore.
I used to play 2K, like NBA 2K, and you like boost your guy with virtual currency, but you just like pay like $100 and make your guy a 99. Like what fun is that? You're not working for anything.
Dude, that is something that is so real. Like, I mean, just to go back to video games for 1 second.
Yeah,
like
do a quick tangent.
Like, I played like shooters, like Modern Warfare and stuff, and like you can just buy to get to the stuff. I wish that they just gave you all the shit in the start, bro. Why can't we all just be on like that? Or at least give me the guns that are like basically the most. I don't know, man. It's just this is
well, it's just kind of like business ruins everything in a way. Like they're just raking it in, but it's not very chill.
No,
or like common man focused.
Me and Mace, I think we were just talking about some stuff like this. How like everything is rigged. Before we got. Before you got here,
I'll conspiracy geek out on like professional sports being rigged. And stuff like terrible calls at the end of the games and stuff.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude. I'm not a theorist. I don't see myself as a conspiracy guy, but some of this stuff, it's like, man, it seems like the most logical explanation.
I'm the antithesis of a sports guy. Like I like playing sports, but I just don't watch them. So people just will be like, yeah, dude, and they just traded this guy. I'm like, yeah,
it's rigged.
That's wild, bro. Like, I don't know anything about that.
Well, at least you play. You're not the antithesis, though.
Well, I don't even really play anymore. I'm just saying, like, playing sports is fun.
Yeah.
watching sports can be really fun too if it's an exciting game. But
That's what I love about the music industry, man, is like everybody in it, nobody really talks about sports much. It's all just about music shit. Like,
Are you a
It's
sports guy?
breath of
No.
fresh air.
No, I do the exact same thing
Mace
you do.
is part of a frat, dude. No, I'm just kidding. We have an
Yeah,
ongoing
I always
joke. Ongoing joke that Mace is part of a frat, and you also love sports.
And I love sports, dude. It's sports. No, like, you know, at the YMCA, the guy would walk in and he'd be like, Lakers, huh? I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude, the sports gear is the worst. Like I've just like wearing a hat, like, oh, big fan, huh? It's like, no, man, it's just my cool hat.
Dude,
Just back off.
I used to live in Wrigleyville, and like, when you live in Wrigleyville, this is for Chicago people. You just, I don't care how big of a Cubs fan you are. Maybe you could deal with it, I guess, if you're a really big Cubs fan. But like, you just can't deal with it because whenever there's a Cubs game, it just becomes insanity. It's like, so annoying.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, I do like baseball. I'm a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
but I mean, that would suck a lot.
Living it, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm, I like it. But then there was a point where I would just wear like Cubs stuff just to like fit in, just to be like, yeah, no, for sure.
Just get everyone off your back.
Yeah. Like it was like my camouflage.
That's funny.
But yeah, anyway, should we like have some fun, play a little track? I know that this is not the main reason that you came
No, you're
here,
good.
but I thought it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I was super down when you asked. I dig the 3 that I sent you, so you guys can let it rip. I'm down.
anything you want to hear first?
Yeah, so you got my super raw file names on there.
Oh, yeah.
I think the first one I want to hear is called sick.chill.wav. Wave.
Oh yeah.
The song is called Mon Freud, which is French for cold world. My buddy Dan played bass on it and guitar in the second half of the song.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like all this side stuff going on.
I was a big panning adds so much to
Yeah.
a song, I think.
Do you know the 90s?
The 90s.
the era?
The 90s, no, like the
Banger era.
Are you a 90s kid? No. British producer, I think. Like beat maker.
I might.
This is so reminiscent of him.
The verb on that little like chime thing, that ping,
Yeah.
real nice.
It works
Real
well in there. I love lo-fi music, man. So
Hell yeah, that was cool, man.
I was glad with that one when it was done.
Was there anything about that one specifically that like you remember, like where were you setting?
It was a classic, like sitting on it for a year and a half type of thing.
Right.
Like just like 80% done forever. kind of scared to go back into it because like it's so good. I'm just like, let's mess it up or something. But yeah, dude. Like I said, my buddy Dan played the bass and guitar on it. Super fun to work with him on it. He's a real musician. He's in a band. He's been playing for years. So I learned from him. But yeah, dude, that one is just like very aligned with music I love. Like I almost always have lo-fi or some type of ambient vinyasa yoga sound going on in my apartment at all times. So that was super on point with that type of stuff I always have going. Like I was like, this could come on shuffle in a playlist that I have and it would fit right in, and that's what I was most proud of about it.
Do you listen to like meditation music type of deal? Like what is vinyasa yoga?
I guess that was just like a vibe descriptor.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of it is no drums. A lot of it is truly just like ambient. Like I'm an Apple Music guy, which I'll get crucified for. But
why? I don't think so.
Just because the whole world uses Spotify.
Because they were there first, man.
It's a great app. Like I started on Apple and I'm not leaving. I'm too used to it.
I will say the one thing that Apple really has on Spotify is that they'll post entire sets from DJs, and they'll have the individual tracks on there.
Does Spotify not do that?
No.
That's huge,
dude,
man. I love how they do that. Yeah.
Because like Arc will like post actual like sets.
Yeah, I was always impressed. They'll have like IDs on there.
I'm upset.
No, they'll put IDs on there, and you can cut to each like track as they're transitioning, or just listen to the whole thing.
But what about Rogan? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude. That's why I'm switching off.
Like that's actually dope though. So it's kind of like almost like Mixcloud or something. Like,
damn near, but you can actually like skip between each.
That is really impressive that they have that.
Yeah.
Also, the interface is dope. Like the app just looks beautiful on your phone, which is typically an iPhone. So that's cheating, I guess. But yeah, man.
Nothing wrong with it. I don't know how we got to the wait.
I was saying, last gloat on Apple is they make amazing playlists, and they have a lot of like one of them is called Flow State, which it's like, I guess like the paragraph description is like, this is great for like vinyasa yoga or like focusing or studying or blah blah blah. And so it's like a lot of lo-fi and ambient, but I mean there's millions of these playlists. So and I guess I wouldn't say I listen to it, like I'm not like I'm going to go see what like all the new ambient guys are dropping, but it's just like soundtrack for living, I guess,
Yeah, no, I
just have it on while I'm like cooking or doing whatever around the house. Yeah, reading, it's really good for it too.
I don't know what it is with like Spotify, but I end up listening to so much of the same music, and I don't know if it's inherent to like Spotify or if I'm just like.
One thing I hate is that like a lot of times I feel like I'll shuffle on Apple and it goes to a very similar pack of songs, and I feel like it's like picking your favorites, but it's like I want a true raw shuffle.
Me too.
Dude, Spotify does the same thing.
It's the exact
stop
same.
going.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like I like get deep in there.
Like my playlist, my liked songs on Spotify are probably like 6,000 or 7,000, maybe more now.
Yeah,
and I hear maybe 400 of them.
Yeah, like I feel like there should be a slider for like true shuffle or like preference shuffle.
No algorithm shuffle.
Yeah.
Versus, dude, do you think we're gonna hit that point where we're just like, people are going to be in the streets like, we don't want the algorithm. We don't like, or I don't know. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's pissed me off more than it's helped me find dope shit. So
yeah, there's a balance.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it's like, dude, yeah, I did want that. And then you're like, stop feeding me the same thing. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Like,
I got something else I got to put out there on this topic. I need someone to invent like an integration where if I send you a Spotify link that I text you, I can like hold it down and it'll bring up like SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify.
Oh, dude, they're not going to do that, man. Apple specifically, the green text box, they literally specifically make that a thing so you feel ostracized.
Yeah.
Like it's an easy fix.
They should make it like even worse, like brown.
Yeah. But, like the you can't even see it. Like it's just black.
No error.
Oh man.
Yeah, I guess that would never happen for business purposes. But how nice would that be, dude? Like, because
It'd be
I'll actually
great.
go on Spotify to send my buddies songs I really want them to listen to. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
make it easy on them, but something like that would be dope.
Well, when I send Mace videos, it's just like garbled. Like I don't even know what happens to it on Mace's end. It's just like fucking.
I'm on Android, man, and they just
It just tanks
Fuck
the
you
video
over.
quality.
Yeah, dude, I've always wanted a non-Apple phone,
Yeah.
but I can't.
I used to have an Android.
I can't ever get off. But
oh, once you're locked in, man. That's
yeah,
it.
but so you're a Galaxy guy.
No, I'm a $250 like T-Mobile phone. Like, hey,
Oh, that's
what do you
kinda
have
dope
for
too,
like
though.
under $300? And they're like, there's this, and for 3+ years, it's doing
Dude, I
great.
see all these
Yeah.
Boost Mobile stores in Chicago. I've been meaning to pop in.
Yeah.
What's going on in there?
Dude, I mean, it is frustrating. You remember GroupMe, that app?
I still use GroupMe, man.
Do you?
Don't say it like
Yeah.
that.
We might have to get a GroupMe because like the texting is just doesn't work.
Yeah.
They don't have like,
Or, like, Discord maybe.
the archival aspects. Like GroupMe's got like the gallery of old photos. It's easier to kind of go look stuff up, I guess. Just like a raw chat with text is how are you gonna find anything?
Oh, you can't do. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like in the messages, you can like look up something specific and
Yeah. Which I guess I don't know. You can do that with iMessage too. But GroupMe has like I don't know the group chat components that are nice.
yeah. These are all like such first world things. It's funny. Dude, I can't send him this. But the amount of like, like, oh, I got to send this to like WeTransfer to get it to my phone to like, because I have a PC and just like, it would be nice if they did a little bit more integration.
Yeah.
But I guess, hey, there's probably a reason why they do all of that.
Yeah.
It's to like make it so you're like,
Steal our
it's
money.
like a tribal thing.
Yeah.
Are you Apple?
Yeah. But like I always feel like the new Google phone or whatever, I don't even know what it
It's
is.
sick,
Must be
yeah.
insanely dope.
No, it is. It definitely is dope.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we play another track because I also want to hear another one that's like, are they all that same vibe?
No, I got a good mixed bag for you. Yeah.
Cool. Which of the
We've got Moody and Smooky.
smooth?
It is yeah, let's do Smokey. It's my take on a funk beat. Oh yeah.
I gotta send you some guys after this, dude, because this
Please
is
do,
like
man. Yeah.
this is hitting right here.
It's a pretty good example of like shit that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that ground zero music, sit and listen to it. This confessions of a Lord, confessions of a Lord. The rap book is my Bible, just for reading through it.
When did you make this one?
It's one of the last ones I made 2 years ago ish. This one goes in the car.
Oh yeah.
Great car song.
This is a great driving song.
Yeah.
You gotta be going kind of quick.
Yeah.
Gotta
No,
be
this is
cruising a
highway
bit.
speeds.
Yeah.
I made like a quick little video to just post this on IG, and it was all clips from the Goofy movie. His kids he's graduating on the last day of school. He's like running out of school and like jumping in people's swimming pools and shit on his skateboard. Just pretty good vibe to visualize the track, I think.
Goofy movies were good.
Was there more than one?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's a couple.
Jerry's like, yeah, there's like 4. I've seen them all. Here are their names.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Dude,
Thank you,
hell
man.
yeah, man.
That's good shit.
Appreciate it.
You
It's a summer, Bob.
I saw you recently posted about bringing back a little bit of like another project
Yes.
in the sense that
Oh, you're dialed in on my pages, dude. Thank you.
Well, sometimes I just get lucky where I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
very much a for fun thing, but I had this old like mood board, just like art, like sharing other people's art page called Sway Parfait.
Sway Boy.
Yeah, sticking on the Sway theme.
Wait. Just to clarify, Sway Boy is Instagram handle.
Sway Boy is my Instagram handle, which I'll just explain quickly. Like I haven't even thought it was very sick in a long time, but it is my name when I started DJing in college, and like I carried that through so long that it was too sticky to get rid of. So, and it's fine. I could have maybe dumped the boy at some point, but not having anymore. But so the Parfait was just like an art. It was really a mood board, to put it simply. I was just sharing other people's stuff. Like if either of you guys know like Lil Jupiter on Instagram, he just posts a bunch of cool random swag art stuff. But I deleted that. I took everything down. And I actually just explained it on this post I did, but I've been doing my own art lately, just like illustrating for fun. Primarily just like I will just draw stuff with pen marker. I just got some watercolors and then just taking it into Photoshop and messing around doing abstract stuff. And I'm just gonna post all my art stuff there just for fun. When I kind of explain like when I got away from music production, I kind of left that itch to create a little neglected. So I just started doing art, just illustrating, and it's been really fun, dude. It's a great creative release. Like looking back on when I was making music, like I kind of had that realization that we touched on earlier, which was like tweaking about like plays and validation.
Yeah.
That can really stunt the fun of it. So now I'm just like drawing random shit, making fun stuff that I dig and posting it. And that's what it is.
I think you said the thing, which is just for fun.
Yeah.
Like you got to be doing it just for fun.
Yeah. Like even if you are like a person who's still creating for money, like
Yeah.
when you're making art but then you're making it to pay your rent, you're changing the whole ball game.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if a ton of musicians have a side thing that they do just for them, or maybe it's just that a certain sound that they do just for them, or maybe it's a totally different hobby. But I think like creating with no rules and goals is like really important.
Yeah, that's real. Because
Yeah.
it becomes too serious. Like when you're like, dude, how do I like, capitalize?
Yeah,
on
like how
this?
come I didn't get any likes on this?
Yeah,
Like, dude,
yeah.
like that, you just like don't ruin it, man. Like this is cool.
Or like just thinking about all the things that you should be doing and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like it
Yeah.
kind of just muddies the water
Totally.
in your brain.
My first post got like 30 likes. So that was like, I'm like, all right, I'm like getting my practice of not giving a shit about that, which was great.
Hey man,
Yeah.
just gotta put it out there sometimes.
No, exactly. But yeah, dude. I think just sharing it is a big part too. Just A, to like say that it's done, and B, I don't know, putting yourself out there just like from a general perspective, like always good. Always will grow from that, I think. So
Yeah. Unless you're like that one unlucky soul that someone just like was having a bad day and they're just like, dude, you know what? This sucks or something. Like if
Yeah.
someone commented
Yeah.
Like I was talking, I mean, this is an extreme example, but like if you're like, dude, I really want to do like stand-up comedy and I feel like it's gonna be cool, and then you go up and like your first show is just brutal.
Dude, I have so much respect for comedians and any vocalist for that matter. Like
Yeah.
you go to an underground like rap show, like local guys, no one's there and they're just spitting their heart out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, dude, that's impressive as
It's like
hell.
putting yourself out there like to the extreme.
Yeah,
Guys,
you
with,
don't-
I don't
you-
know how much more can you do it even?
You don't
Besides,
have your
like,
buttons to
stripping
hide
ass
behind.
naked.
Oh, exactly right.
That's how I feel when
Yeah.
I'm DJing. I'm like, I got my buttons to hide behind.
Dude, I know. I'm always like, this is like a cheap way to be a stage performer.
I know, and there are some people that do it on a level where I'm like, this is like I'll see.
Yeah,
and be
no,
like,
people
this is
do-
fucking sick. Like,
Yeah,
I'm in.
people do it well.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I'm making portfolio, just kind of gather all my work right now, and I'm like going through these old videos of me DJing. I'm like, dude, I was boring as hell. Like I'm just like, I don't know, no stage presence at all, and it was kind of hard to watch.
well, I mean, I feel like it takes some time to be like not focused on just like making sure you don't fuck up.
Yeah, yeah,
And then paying attention to the crowd, you know?
yeah, very true. It can add a lot though, dude.
I've seen like every video that's been taken of me DJing, and I'm just staring down at their like getting really technical with my mix, and I'm like
Yeah,
putting like 80% of my work into the 20% that nobody gives a shit about. Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
a video of just a DJ and like you can't see the crowd at all. It's like it's just a guy standing there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But you can make
That's so
it look,
funny, dude.
you can make it look cool if you get the right angle.
Totally. Yeah.
It's true though. Yeah.
man.
I think probably most DJs have that like
Yeah.
almost
And there's a music quality where it doesn't matter because like this is just amazing. But
right.
you know, when you're on the come up grinding, gotta do those extra things. And I just wasn't good at that as a performer.
I just feel like even I remember we were talking to Kai, who's one of our buddies.
Oh, sure.
Previous podcast guest. We were leaving this venue after playing, and there was another venue inside this place where there was like a band playing,
Yeah.
and he was like, a bunch of real instruments, or no, he said it in a way that he was like degrading us like as DJs,
Yeah.
which is like funny. Like, and I think a lot of DJs probably feel the same way. Like, yeah, we're button pushers, but like when it's fun, dude, still
Yeah.
some of my favorite musical experiences, almost all of them are DJ sets. So like there's levels to this shit, you know.
It's a different type of energy, I think.
But there is like a self-deprecating thing that I always do, at least. I don't know what it is. I think a lot of people probably understand.
Well, it's weird. It's like, I feel like it's almost like a primal, like, you know, lizard brain shit where you're putting yourself on the line, right? You're making yourself vulnerable. You're playing these songs that people might not fuck with.
Yeah.
And you don't want to look up. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
yeah,
you don't
no, it's
wanna
hard,
look
man.
at them, and if like somebody's not dancing,
like,
you're like,
dude.
you're like, oh.
You know what I was thinking about?
That hit, dude.
Yeah, that's real. You know what I was
Great
thinking
point.
about? So Mace played a show the other day with a band, and you were doing a little bit more than like just DJing. Like you were out there, and I noticed that you had just like your shades on, and I was like, dude.
Not a bad move.
I get it now. Like
Yeah,
I
not a bad move.
understand why DJ Snake always wears shades, or like people wear shades in the club.
It's because he's looking at his crossfader.
Yeah. It's because you don't really want to like. You don't want people to know where you're looking.
Yeah. No, well, I when you said that, I remembered just like being scared to look at the crowd a few
Yeah.
times. Like that's fair. I think that's a real fear.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. This is a really random thing, but it's so funny, and it's like lore among my friend or me and my one friend. But there's, you know how like DJ Snake always has those same shades.
Yeah.
There's a picture of him, and he doesn't have his shades on, and his eyes are like cross-eyed,
my
or like they're
God.
like looking in different directions. And for a long time,
Like,
me
did
and-
the internet get him? or
Yeah,
was
no,
his-
no, Maze. Look at
Okay,
that. It's just
okay.
like DJ Snake without his glasses. And for a long time, me and my buddy were just like, bro, what? That's why he wears the glasses.
oh.
And then I found the real picture one time, and I was like, Oh, someone just like photoshopped
Internet
this.
got him good.
Dude, but I was so convinced. Do you see?
Dude, swing it around, man.
It's so
Yeah, wait, one sec.
bad.
It's
Oh
one of
my
those
God.
Twitters. Hang on.
I just like,
Oh,
I just remember having a visceral reaction.
Oh
is
man,
that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
dude, there's no way anyone bought that. At least
I
like,
did.
that's completely unbelievable.
I was like, that's why, dude. Because we had like an ongoing joke. We were just like, dude, he's always got the shades on. And then we saw that and we're like, dude.
yeah, damn.
Oh, man. Good times. All right. Well, let's run the last track since we got it.
Yeah,
And then
just one more.
we got a wrap up question. We'll send this baby home.
Sick. Sounds good, dude.
Cool.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Smooth,
Dude, this
Thank
is
you.
crazy. Like this, like I'm not like dating your music at all, but like this takes me back to like 2015, like
Totally.
smoking in my car, like driving through like
Yeah.
cold winter nights, snow would coming down, and it's fuck like.
Have you released any of these? Or are they like SoundCloud?
They're
tracks?
all out everywhere. So
Really?
yeah, you can go run it up.
Cool. Anyway, thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, dude. That was fun to listen to those again. I haven't run those in years, honestly.
It's been a sec.
Yeah.
I'd come to a Sway Boy DJ set.
They were fun, man. I mean, I never got to play chill stuff though. I was always turning up. Which I have turn up songs too, but they're not even my favorites. So those were like my 3 faves I've made probably.
You know what? I wonder if anyone like. I wish I had like a Q&A possibly. Like call in. Dude, we should do a call in. That'd be sick.
Ooh,
Anyway,
that'd be dope.
or maybe like pre-recorded stuff. But I feel like it's hard to make really hype stuff for myself in the bedroom. Like,
Yeah.
because I get sick of it really quick. So when I'm in the bedroom, I always end up making like chill shit that I can always listen
I
to.
found myself doing the same thing, man. I was like, I'm chilling now.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
am
chilling
in a chill
now.
mood.
Yeah, so I don't want to make that like hype.
Yeah.
Occasionally, it will happen.
That's why I think a collab is great for a hype track. You can get your buddy over, get some energy going.
That's real.
Yeah. I worked with my one buddy, Nate, on a bunch of, very good, I mean, they're really solid EDM tracks. So I found it a little bit easier to make that type of stuff with someone else in the room.
That's real. I got to try that out. Sorry, just really long burp. Let's bring this baby home. So,
Sweet, dude.
as you're probably aware, I ask a wrap-up question, and speaking of bangers, what was like the most banger concert, sick favorite concert you've ever been to?
Yeah. I knew you were going to ask me this. I never quite landed on an answer.
No, yeah, I still haven't either. Really,
It's tough, dude. But I guess, maybe, for sure one of the most pivotal ones for me was a Mr. Carmack show I saw in Austin, Texas. I mean, he's for sure my number one dance music inspiration. Maybe my favorite musical artist of all time. Could do a whole pod just about him. But I also met him at the show. He's
always just chilling, dude.
He was totally chilling.
I met him a couple times at his shows. He's just walking around.
Yeah. I know he's completely sober now, and he almost seems like a maybe more fun guy to run into. He was like super quiet when I met him, totally nice and polite. I just ran up to him. I was like, yo, dude, the fanboy pitch. I was like, I'm a massive fan. I worship you. May have smoked a joint together. And then he just threw down one of his classic eclectic sets with a ton of chill beats and dubstep and trap and like disco house. And it was really fire. It was cool that I got to meet one of my biggest inspirations. And, yeah, it was I can't remember the name of the venue, but it was in Austin, like 2017 maybe. So that was cool. So many others too. I saw Great Dane at Subterranean here not too long ago. Love Great Dane. His new album is amazing.
Definitely within the same.
Yeah.
Dude, do they have that, him and Great Dane have that track, Cocaine, or I think, yeah.
Yeah, but like
So
kind of
fire.
funnied out somehow. I can't remember how exactly it's spelled. And yeah, dude, I love a ton of indie rock too. I saw Japanese Breakfast a few weeks ago. I saw her last year too. She's awesome. Yeah, those are a few that come to mind.
Yeah, dude, Carmack is like the unrequited goat. Like, he's just the guy.
Yeah.
But it's funny. He just stays in the underground. Like, he's still a big name, but he's not like
it seems
as
like
big as he could.
Yeah, he clearly
be.
chose a route to do what he wants.
Yeah,
I think because he could be producing top 40 if he wanted to. Yeah, and I love how he never stuck to a sound. Made so many bangers, and then like did a whole EP of him singing.
Yeah,
Like,
there were some good tracks on there.
Yeah, yeah,
Just prolific in the amount of music too. There's so much,
Totally.
and it's all free. I think for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
I just downloaded like his whole discography off Bandcamp
Yeah.
or his website.
yeah.
Like,
Pretty much all still up there.
yeah. There's a couple like EPs that I think you got to dig for a little bit, but
I want to say I've gotten everyone, but
yeah,
who can be sure?
yeah. I recently just started like downloading some music lately and like having it on my computer, and I'm like, this is fun. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to stream this. Like, it's just this is what I own.
Yeah,
It's not quite vinyl.
yeah. No,
but
I'm
it's
getting
like
back into
it's like a
Bandcamp
throwback.
too, dude. It's
Yeah.
nice.
It's like there was a sacred thing about what you have on your iPod, and like Now you can listen to everything.
Yeah.
And what you end up listening to is like suggested shit from Spotify or Apple Music, and like I just don't like that.
Yeah.
We could have
I
a whole
want-
podcast on that, dude.
I know,
and
yeah,
how
I'm going
toxic
back to it.
streaming music has gotten, because
Totally.
I feel like it's influenced my taste more than I have, which is a huge bummer.
I feel that.
It's a
Yeah.
bummer,
Yeah, it's a
dude.
bummer. But it's also
SoundCloud,
sick.
like-
I mean, you get pushed
No,
a lot
yeah.
of cool music, and like you
Yeah.
can reach like everybody. right?
Yeah.
But-
I've definitely found more music that's like universally accepted, like classics, because I just get pushed to that. I'm like, oh, I didn't really know about this classic,
Yeah.
and I have done some deep dives on like specific genres. But yeah, it's just I don't know.
I always beat myself up for actually not listening to my own playlists more. Like I'm constantly looking for new shit. I'm like, dude, I gotta go listen. I just found all this dope stuff. Like I gotta go back and revisit. Like I do, obviously, but I need to do it more. Yeah.
I feel you. I just made a playlist for like summer, and I was listening to it at the beach, and I turned to my friend. I was like, dude, this is a great playlist. And I was like, or no, I kept going like, this is a great song. And I was like, yeah, of course it's a great song because I put it in my playlist and like I like this song. Like,
I foresaw mentioning this today. Like just the classic, like, what's this gas I'm playing up for my own playlist right now? I have no idea. I just don't remember it. I don't remember the song at all. Yeah, you liked it once for 5 minutes and moved on with your life.
here's a quick question before we wrap. Is there like a name for a playlist that it's like your grab bag playlist where you just throw shit because you're like, I don't know what to put this in yet?
Yeah, it's called Sway Sandwiches.
Sway sandwiches.
And this is just for me. Like, I mean, maybe my 2 of my 5 friends on Apple Music have give it a little spin, but yeah, that's like my everything eclectic. Don't know what's coming next playlist, and I love it.
I have like a playlist where like I'll put everything and then maybe sort it later, but probably not actually.
Yeah.
And it's just called Keepers.
Nice.
Do you have one, Mace?
Dude, I like rotate through. So like every 3 or 4 months, I'll just create a new playlist for that season, and whatever I like, I'll stick it in there. So I've got like going back 4 years, probably like 4 playlists a year.
Are
right,
they
for each
dated like
season.
spring?
Yeah, no. So
20,
yeah, and I try and
23
come
or
up with like a clever name. So
That's
I'm
funny,
like,
dude. I do this.
yeah.
I started doing the seasons too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally time bound. Like it's not genre specific at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny.
Exactly.
Dude. That's why I do
And
it too.
what I need to do is go back and actually find like, try and organize a little bit more and
Yeah,
make
like
it
when
make
you're
sense,
with a group of people and you got a DJ, like you're
Yeah.
on the aux. Like I gotta
Dude.
curate my things so much because like
I know.
there might be a crazy bass song that you guys are gonna run away to
Whoa.
from
Yeah, no,
on
hold
here.
No, yeah,
An ad.
you could literally make like 20 different playlists for like shit that like, I would listen to with my friends, or
Yeah.
like just shit that white people like, and nobody's like, still people are going to be unhappy, and you're like, I
Yeah.
don't have a playlist for every single scenario.
Yeah, totally.
I go to my Keepers playlist, and honestly, half the time I'm like, none of this will work right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, I just go in there and
That's
you
fine.
just gotta delete the risky ones, and usually like the
Yeah.
meat of it will be
Yeah.
remotely agreeable.
there was a time where I was doing like, now that's what I call music or something, like just joking. You could do now that's what I call Mace number 23 or something, or like it's just I don't know. It's just throwing it out there if
My
you want it.
favorite playlist that I own is my Shazam tracks. Because
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
that's
Ooh,
like
that's
the
a good one,
biggest
dude.
mix of like me listening to the radio or hearing a song.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. a
You're
friend
also like
is playing
remembering
or-
those moments immediately.
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
I was
cool.
in
Yeah.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
Why does Chipotle have such good playlists? I don't know.
Dude, they
swear.
do actually. I've heard
First
some
time
really
I
good
heard
ones.
like K Tronada was, I think, at Chipotle. I was like, this is
yeah,
hot.
yeah. I've heard some bangers at Chipotle too.
Yeah. Fuck, there was something else I was gonna say, but totally forgot it. And that's why we should end. Brother, thank you for coming on.
That was awesome,
Any
man.
shout outs that you'd like to give out?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to you guys, Jerry and Mace. That was super fun.
Thank you.
Shout out to all my artists, Tazu, Cozy Cav, and Care. A few more on the way as well. And all my guys who helped me do Goosethumps to start, J. Ray, Freddie, Nate, Andrew Dilo, they did a ton of work with me, and I'm here because of them. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Pour one out for the boys.
Still very close with all of them. Nothing to be poured.
I'm
but
like
yeah.
saying that they're dead. Also not on my floor. Not tonight. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Good stuff.
Later.
Later.